Hello, Sonoma County. Welcome back to our channel. Are you looking into the area of Santa Rosa, California, and kind of questioning why one side of Santa Rosa versus the other side of Santa Rosa, or the north versus south, feels so different? Well, you're not wrong. In a way, we like to look at Santa Rosa as four quadrants, split by Highway 101 north and south and Highway 12 east and west. Those four quadrants absolutely have a different feel, and it's crucial that you pick the right one to move into for what your lifestyle, your vibe, and what your overall home is going to feel like. So let's compare the four different quadrants of Santa Rosa and make sure you pick the right one. But first, I'm Morgan Devinchenzi with Sullivan Group Real Estate, and we help people move into, out of, and all around Sonoma County every single year. So you are thinking of making this move, watching this video because you're researching, just reach out. My information's here on the screen, phone number, email, you'll get me every time. Let's have the conversation. Let's just kind of talk through what you're thinking, what your timeline tentatively is. We can help put some of those puzzle pieces together so you don't have to go it alone. All right, I'll move kind of quickly through this. First of all, Santa Rosa is the biggest city in Sonoma County. Santa Rosa is so vibrant, robust. It's got totally different feels depending on which corner of Santa Rosa that you're in. So Santa Rosa, as a reminder, sits about an hour north of San Francisco. We're a great location for just about everything you might be looking for. Ocean, mountains, city, rural, we have it all. And I think that's a big draw of why a lot of people want to come to Santa Rosa. And the little cherry on top is we have beautiful weather just about year round. So if you're thinking about making a move and just trying to figure out, is one side of Santa Rosa better than the other? Is there a difference between some of these neighborhoods you may be looking at online? Likely there is. So we're going to start and go through all four of the quadrants of Santa Rosa and make sure you really understand where you are potentially looking to move into. The northwest quadrant. One of my favorites. I may say this in all four quadrants, so just bear with me on that one, honestly. The northwest quadrant is kind of a nice combination of a little bit more centered into town, is some really, really nice neighborhoods, suburbs, great schools, good shopping, all those different things. And as you inch your way further to the outskirts of town on the northwest quadrant, you're going to get some more rural properties. So it's a nice kind of mix of different types of people, and you're going to get a nice kind of family down home feel in Northwest, if that makes sense. The Northwest quadrant has some very nice amenities as well. There's wonderful parks, fabulous wineries like Hook and Ladder Winery, La Crema, Sonoma Couture. I mean, there's some really wonderful wineries right in your little section of town. There's the Santa Rosa Golf and Country Club, a wonderful area to go and enjoy a round of golf, go to events, and enjoy the beautiful landscape. There's a few neighborhood parks, Coffee Park, there's Finley Aquatic Center, and then there's also a place to play Santa Rosa, which is like 70 plus acres of multiple soccer fields and baseball fields and open space, and there's bathrooms, and there's plenty of parking, and there's play structures. And I mean, it's a really amazing part of our community that is carved out right in the middle of Northwest Santa Rosa. Housing. Because I mentioned there's the suburbs all the way out to the rural, there's going to be a difference in price. Starting with like condos and townhomes, there's some really cute neighborhoods, and those can really start in the high 300,000s into the 400,000s to get a really cute condo or townhome. And then moving into the single family homes, you can snag a nice single family home for $600,000 to $800,000. If you're looking up this area of Santa Rosa, you may see some information about Coffee Park. Coffee Park was the neighborhood that was previously burned in our 2017 fires that rolled through Santa Rosa, but it's just about like 98, 99% rebuilt. So you have this beautiful family-friendly neighborhood with a beautiful park right in the middle of all brand new houses. Those houses are going to be on the higher end of the price point just because they are brand new, but still you can move into this neighborhood for about $800, maybe a little bit more, $1,000. Then moving to the outskirts of town, those properties again are going to vary. You're going to have smaller little rural properties for $800,000-900,000, over $1 million if you have an acre or two, and then a couple $1 million if you got more than a couple acres. in a nice single family home. So definitely a little bit of something for everybody and a really fun feel in that northwest quadrant. All right, hopping over to the east, we have the northeast quadrant of Santa Rosa. This is a really great area as well. I told you I'm probably going to say this on every single one because they are great. They all just have a different feel. So the northeast quadrant is going to be some really nice suburbs, again, some condo, townhome opportunities, but the northeast quadrant is a little more affluent, and you'll see that in some of the luxury and high-end neighborhoods throughout this quadrant of town. With that, you're going to kind of have a little bit of a different vibe where you're going to see a few more Teslas and Mercedes on the road, and the kids that go to school are going to be a little bit different than the kids on the other side, but that's okay. There's something for everyone. When it comes to amenities, you have just about everything you need for like day-to-day in the northeast quadrant. There's some great community parks. There's multiple shopping centers, grocery stores, hardware stores, all the basics, neighborhood parks to enjoy. That's really a thing that you're going to find mostly throughout all of Santa Rosa. And then you're an easy drive to either Calistoga or Sonoma or Kenwood or wherever you want to go enjoy some of the rural landscape and the wineries and the other fun little towns because you are on that eastern side of Santa Rosa. Additionally, there's some really great hiking at Hood Mountain and Sugarloaf State Park. Beautiful views, really safe environment, and you're looking over all of the Sonoma Valley in Santa Rosa landscape. It is stunning. Again, housing options are totally going to vary because, as we talked about, we got the condos, townhouses, we got the normal suburbs, and then we got these kind of high-end and luxury neighborhoods. So let's work through that. Again, in the northeast quadrant, you can pick up a condo or a townhome for about $400,000. In the $400,000, you could probably get like a cute little 2-bedroom, 1 or 2 bath condo, townhome, nice neighborhood, nice location, easy access to everything, and really live in a very nice community. Going up from there, the single family homes generally kind of start around $700,000. There's really not much on the market under that. It's going to need a little bit of sweat equity to bring it up to speed, if you get what I mean. So these single family homes are usually between about $700,000 and $900,000. Still nice homes, nice neighborhoods. There's kind of a combination of some older homes from the 60s, 70s, 80s that were built up, and then there's actually been some areas of new construction, so you can pick up a house that was from the 2000s, 2020s. Not so bad. High-end and luxury properties. We have the Skyhawk community that sits to the far east of this quadrant, as if you're going down Highway 12. Skyhawk is definitely like one of the go-to high-end neighborhoods of Santa Rosa, and sitting in that neighborhood is Austin Creek Elementary School, which is one of the most highly rated elementary schools in Sonoma County, if not like all of California. So it really draws a lot of families there. In this neighborhood, most of the homes were built up in the late 90s into the 2000s, and some of them even by the last 5 years or so. You're gonna have those modern stately homes, flowing layout, really kind of large lots for the most part. A lot of these properties are sitting on a 1/4 acre or more. It is built over a hill, so a lot of the properties have some kind of view or a full view across either, the Santa Rosa landscape or to the east. So not a lot of way to go wrong there when it comes to living in a very high-end neighborhood and making sure you're in a safe community for yourself and your family. The Skyhawk neighborhood, the smallest of single-family homes on the lower end of the hill, are probably still going to go for about $800,000. The homes with the views at the top of the hill are probably going to be 1.5 to 2 million or so, depending on updates and all that, but definitely a really great value to be in a really great neighborhood. And now we go to some luxury in Fountain Grove. So Fountain Grove is another hill more on the west side of the northeast quadrant, if you will. Fountain Grove, similar to Coffee Park that was in the northwest quadrant, was one of the neighborhoods that was affected by our 2017 fires. It pretty much rolled through that entire hill, took out the majority of the homes, and since the whole neighborhood is just about rebuilt and it covers the entire mountain. So tons of beautiful, brand new, modern luxury homes. The lowest price point is probably starting about $1 million. And then the top of the hill homes, the most luxury, largest sprawling estate, those would be in more of the Sky Farm section of Fountain Grove. Those will go for $3-4 million plus. So really a lot of opportunity, and a lot of people really enjoy Fountain Grove because you are just situated above Highway 101. So you can hop down the hill, be on Highway 101, and get to anywhere you need to go go from there. So for the different price points, the northeast quadrant offers you pretty much anything you would need. The southwest quadrant. Now this is going to be kind of a little mix-up from the two that we've talked about so far, a totally different vibe than both of them. So the southwest quadrant is a little bit more diverse. You're going to have a little higher population of Hispanic and Asians as well as Caucasians in this neighborhood compared to the other three quadrants of Santa Rosa. I mean, Santa Rosa is probably the most diverse city of Sonoma County, but the southeast quadrant seems to be the most diverse of the four quadrants, if we can put it that way. So it's a little more casual than the other quadrants. You're going to have kind of this vibrant mix of people, and that's going to show in the neighborhoods, in the different amenities, in the restaurants, and all of those different things. So let's dive in. As far as amenities, this area offers everything you would need for your day-to-day living as well. Not that the other quadrants are far away, but it's nice to have in your own little neighborhood and own little community, your own shopping, some community parks. Southwest Park is a wonderful park that a lot of families and people enjoy all year long. There's a few community centers and cultural attractions as well. There's also an interesting mix of some commercial areas within the overall southwest quadrant. So as you kind of drive through, you'll definitely see how the commercial and the residential kind of get a little bit mixed together. That's cool for some, not for others, but kind of a fun, unique factor for the southwest quadrant. Additionally, two of Santa Rosa's, or Sonoma County, I should say, top breweries are right in the southwest quadrant as well. There's Old Possum Brewing and Ten House Brewing right there. Housing. Because it's a little more diverse, because it's a little eclectic, you get a little more bang for your buck in this area. So starting with those condos, townhomes, you can pick up a condo in the southwest quadrant for like $300,000. Once you get up to the $400,000, you can afford a very nice townhome. For example, there's the Casa del Sol townhome community. It's a gated community. It's beautiful. They got a pool. It's just a wonderful place for a lot of families and individuals to choose to live, feel safe, feel secure, and have kind of a newer home, because most of these townhomes were built from the 90s or even more recent. And those properties are selling for like the low 400s. So that's kind of a really good deal to be in a beautiful community and not have to pay too much for your home. Going into single-family homes, you can actually find single-family homes in the southwest quadrant in the high 500,000s, which we know from the other two quadrants that we've covered so far is not so likely. Once you get into the 600,000-700,000s in the southwest quadrant, you're getting a pretty darn nice house, usually updated, a nice backyard, maybe some extra parking space, all those kinds of factors start coming in, but you definitely get a little bit more bang for your buck. Last but not least, the southwest quadrant has some awesome rural areas to the south and to the west sides of the southwest quadrant. There's some beautiful small farms. There's some rural landscape. A lot of these homes are going to be a little bit older. They've been on the properties for a while, but have a couple of acres right in Santa Rosa, have some elbow room, and compared to some of the other quadrants for properties this size, you can pick a few of them up for under $1 million, or if it's over $1 million, you're usually getting a pretty nice property, pretty move-in ready home, and it's a great opportunity to own some nice land here in Sonoma County.
Last but not least, we made it to the fourth quadrant, which would be, of course, the southeast quadrant. So this one sits to the east of 101, to the south of Highway 12, and this has a fun mix. There's kind of a different feel here. There's a couple different shopping areas. There's a mix of residential and open spaces, and it really is a nice kind of vibe for almost anyone. As far as amenities go, there's a few different shopping centers, like I mentioned. There's Santa Rosa Avenue, which is just off of Highway 101, kind of runs parallel, and that has basically all you would need for your big box stores. You got Best Buy, you got Target, you got Marshalls, you got a sports goods store, you got all your fast food chains, you got Boot Barn, you got, name it, it's pretty much over there. You got everything you need. And so that's a great option. It's got, REI, Cost Plus, all those different stores. So anyway, you get the idea. And then in the southeast quadrant, you also have Montgomery Village, which we've done a whole video on Montgomery Village, and you can totally check that out. We'll put a little picture of that one here. Montgomery Village is this open air, sprawling shopping center, and it's a mix of local stores, restaurants, chain stores. So you have everything from some really cool, wonderful restaurants to a Lululemon, to a nail salon, to Copperfield's bookstore, bookstore to Lucky's grocery store. I mean, it's kind of this nice hodgepodge of all the stores, and it's a really fun time. I mean, a few times a year, I definitely plan like an afternoon to maybe get my nails done, go over to Montgomery Village, do that, and then shop around, grab lunch, and just kind of make a little day out of it with either my mom or a friend or something like that. Definitely a really fun place, and that is more on the eastern side of the southeast quadrant. So between the two, you have everything you need in the southeast quadrant for sure. Also, you have Bennett Valley Golf Course, which also comes with the Iron and Vine restaurant. Bennett Valley Golf Course has long been a really desirable golf course for golf enthusiasts. And Iron and Vine is a super fun time. Great food, great vibe. Even if you aren't golfing, go over there, grab a bite to eat. A lot of times in previous years I've gone and they do like football Sundays where they got football on every screen, and you grab brunch and you have a mimosa, and it's a blast. Possibly one of the biggest draws to the southeast quadrant is Annandale State Park and Spring Lake Park. These two make up a huge section of the southeast quadrant, and a lot of the neighborhoods actually back up to this huge open space. It is one of the most coveted areas to hike, mountain bike, horseback ride. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful open space to enjoy. Spring Lake has a more paved kind of loop that you can enjoy, and then Annandale has more of the rugged terrain to be able to hike through and whatnot. The views are stunning, it's very well maintained, it's very safe, and it's right in your backyard if you're in the southeast quadrant. Housing in this quadrant. Again, a little bit of a variety depending on where you are in this quadrant. So closer to the Montgomery Village area, Montgomery Village sits kind of close to the open space Annandale State Park and Spring Lake. So if you're kind of in that central area of the southeast quadrant, you have some townhome options, some condo options, and then single family home options. Condos and townhomes are going to kind of be on the same level as some of the other areas where 3, 4, 500,000, you can pick up a very nice condo or townhome, get your foot in the door, have a nice safe community to live in, and not have to worry about a whole bunch. When you get up to the single family, there's some of the hill areas and then the flats. So in the flats near Montgomery Village, you have some kind of charming little bungalows and homes and whatnot. Those start at about 600,000. You can pick up a really cute little home for 650,000. And then once you start moving into those neighborhoods towards the hills, you start hitting the $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 mark. But no matter where you live in the southeast quadrant, it really is a pretty safe neighborhood and a safe community overall. Plus, the southeast quadrant has its own share of some of these rural properties. You can enjoy the kind of hilltop areas where maybe your home is sitting on like half an acre or just about a full acre. And then beyond that, on the outskirts of town, just a little bit more, but there are some more rural areas, some kind of farmlands, vineyard properties, things like that. Those properties are going to be going for about $1.5 million to $2, $3, $4, $5 million over there. Again, a very desirable area, beautiful year-round, and a great community to live in for the amenities, the schools, and the community itself. Whew. That was kind of a lot to talk through the 4 different quadrants, and I know you probably were like, wow, there's a lot that is similar about these different quadrants, but I hope you also recognize that each quadrant does bring its own charm and feel to the city of Santa Rosa itself. Of course, there's a lot more detail we can go into if one of these did kind of pique your interest and you want to talk in depth a little bit more about that. Let's have that conversation. I'll put my information here on the screen yet again so you can reach right out, and I'll look forward to connecting with you, learning more about your move and helping it be a successful one. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.